Hey guys, just before we start the...
How did you not know I was going to do that? I prepped it and everything.
Me. Hey guys, just before we start the episode, we know times are a little weird right now. We just went through the selection and everything, and everybody's kind of on the fence about a lot of things. Here at Geek'N, we just want to say that whatever your affiliation is, doesn't matter. What does matter, as long as is that you're good to each other. That's the important part to us here at the show, is that we make sure that we're all good to each other. We may talk crap about all kinds of fandoms, but at the very end of the day, we still love each other. And that's what we only represent here at this table. So, gay, straight, Latino, black, Asian, white, whatever, we do not care. As long as you love each other. And as long as you stay that way, you're always welcome here at the table. All right, let's get started with the show.
Okay. Do I need to hit the news anchor of the thing again?
If you want to, go ahead, Phil.
It's too late. I've already unpaired my phone from my thing.
Welcome, dear friends, to season 2 of Geek'N. Welcome back.
First official episode.
The first official episode. We are back. I am Dev the Doc.
I am Phil.
I'm Wyatt.
And it's so good to be back. We say this is the first official episode because after Fandom May, way back in May, we actually did do another episode after that, and it was right around the time when we were working on a super secret, Geek'N project, and
which I asked about recently, and I was given the answer of
that's about right, and that's all we're going to tell you about.
That's an accurate time frame.
Yeah, that's what we're going to tell you about that project. Exactly that. But this here is just episodes like catching up with the boys. It's, your host, Dev the Doc, and the Chaos Twins.
I hope you are ready for chaos. Devin.
Oh, boy.
Roll for initiative.
My dice is on the other side of the room.
Incorrect, you lose.
But, yeah, it's good to be back. It's good to have you all back here at the table. And basically, it's just a catching up show, just talking about what we've been doing since our last episode during the Fandom May. Do we want our part-timer to start first?
Yes.
What, as our part-timer, full-timer, all the way around timer, what have you been doing since we did our last episode back in Fandom
May?
It's been 6 months at this point.
So it's been 6 months. I've been away from home for, in total, 2 of those months.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I've spent 2 weeks in Texas, twice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I've spent 2 weeks in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you combine all of the weekends I've been running conventions, it comes out to 2 whole months. I haven't slept in my own bed.
But I've been in everybody else's bed.
At least while you were here, you had an extra. We had an extra full-size bed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Oh, at least it wasn't a twin.
Yeah.
It lifts up too, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But what about you, Phil? What have you been geeking on and around since, Fandom May?
I've been geeking on and around a lot of things. So...
Can you think this? I know it's been 6 months.
I'm also very tired. So... a new Call of Duty came out.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was like, it's $70. I don't think I want to spend the $70 to play the game.
Games are getting high.
I'll just I guess watch videos or whatever. And then I guess I saw a coworker. She was talking about how she was playing the game, and I was like, I mean, and then
he's so easily sucked in.
And then the videos that I were watching, I was like, oh, I kind of want to just play zombies, right? And then the multiplayer. And I heard the story's pretty good. You know what? Forget it. I'm just going to... And then I spent the $70, and then I installed it. Played for a weekend. Then I had to go to work. And then the next weekend that I wanted to play, there was like a big update. And my Steam was like, all right, we're attempting to update. You have corrupted files. We're attempting to verify your files. We're attempting to verify your files. Attempting update. We're attempting. I was like, forget it. I'm just going to uninstall the whole thing and then reinstall it. I didn't get to play that game until like way past 7 o'clock that night. I was so upset.
But that's yeah.
That's pretty much it, actually.
6
A lot of stuff that
Okay.
a lot of stuff that I can't really remember at the time. Oh, you can see Wyatt's thing in my glasses.
Hey, that's a pretty handsome man.
Yeah. Better not have anything nefarious on my screen. You can watch the whole thing in my glasses.
It's just a whole dildo.
It's just gonna be the picture of Mike Tyson's ass.
We are going to get to that. We got to talk about that. But
What have you been geeking on, Devin?
since Fandom May, we've been doing a lot, actually. There's a super secret project and the failed attempt at, the beginning of season 2. And as we ventured down the months, you and I went to Fan Expo, as we do it, almost every year. And we recorded the first half of our adventures is actually on our YouTube, if you guys want to check that out. Eventually I will get around to editing that second half and getting it up. Also, that was Fan Expo. August, my birthday happened. I turned 36. I'm officially over 35 now. I'm an old man.
Happy birthday! Birthday!
Birthday!
And after that came, I got drug onto a cruise. It's like taking a mandatory friggin' vacation.
Misheard you, and I thought you said I got either
Drugged
drunk
up.
or drugged
Yeah,
on a cruise.
I heard drunk.
See, you
I was
guys.
like,
He's like, what happened? Why wasn't I there for this?
exactly. I would have loved to have seen that.
No. But not for a lack of trying. Not me, but my family. No, I was told to take a week off, and we went on a cruise. It was our first cruise as a family. Me, my mom, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, and a few cousins. And I will say this. As an introverted, nerdy guy, it's not bad. It was like, because we sailed out on Sunday, and by Tuesday I was looking around, I was like, man, it's beautiful out here. This is nice. I'm ready to go home. It's like, we've spent enough time at sea. I'm ready to go home. But it wasn't bad at all. I knew I was on a different plane of existence when I realized it was like 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm hanging out in the lobby, just kind of people watching. And I see two people walking around with alcohol in hand. It is 9:30 in the morning. You guys are already drinking?
Yeah, Devin, it's called day drinking.
It's insane.
Okay, hold on. Wait a second. This is an important question.
Yeah.
And I know you may not know the answer to this. What kind of alcohol?
Oh,
What
no.
did it look like?
No, it wasn't beer. It was like liquor. I'm
What
talking,
did it look like?
some.
Because if it was a Bloody Mary or like a mimosa, those are morning drinks.
No, these were like.
See, the question is, did they even go to sleep?
That is
Also a good question.
That is a good question because it is very easy to be up all night. There was a point where we had watched a midnight movie on the deck. It was like Godzilla
Wasn't
X.
it like Jaws in the pool?
No, it was like,
Or who was it that watched Jaws? Was it you, Wyatt?
Watching Jaws in the pool.
I remember someone telling me that they were in a pool at like something, like a party or whatever, and they were watching Jaws on a projector.
no, we were watching Godzilla X Kong, and of course there were kids playing around the pool. Again, it's a midnight movie, so we didn't get back to our room until like 2:30, 3 o'clock. It's kind of the latest I've been up that entire time, but the later you stay up, the crazier things get because the drunks are about. And I'll never forget this story that my sister-in-law told me, that her and my brother were hanging out just because, again, we like to people watch. But there's in the main lobby there is a bar, and there's this older lady and her man, and Stephanie's watching this lady, and all of a sudden she sees this lady kind of shifting in her dress. Is like, what the heck is she doing? Next thing you know, she saw those drawers hit the floor, and it was about to go down in that lobby. Until, they eventually made it the way up the stairs towards, all the cabins and quarters and stuff like that.
So this was an older lady?
An older lady, probably in her like 50s or 60s. Still getting it.
Good for her.
Okay, I'm gonna blow you guys' mind right now, right? There is a town that is like mostly populated by the elderly.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the highest.
I'm afraid of what you're going to say next.
Oh, STIs?
Yes.
Yeah, it runs rampant in like elderly homes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's actually a problem.
And it's also to the point where like they put loofahs on their cars, and the different colors of loofahs essentially tell you what that person is into. Kind of like a weird version of the upside down pineapple.
But
fun fact: if you go to someone's house and there's just like a random pineapple like in their living room or something, they're into swinging.
No, it's upside down. It has to be upside down.
Not all the time.
Not all the time?
It's just a misplaced pineapple.
this is why
But a misplaced upside down pineapple, though.
this is why I don't go over people's houses.
Why, you're afraid that they're gonna be like, all right, well, since you're here, you can't leave.
This is just what I feel like
He's afraid to sit on the couch.
And my brain happens. I sit down. I'm like, man, this is quite soft it's a really soft couch. Look over at their, just like living room table, and there's the pineapple there, and I'm like, Then you look over. There's a basket full of keys.
First of all, why'd they leave the keys?
I don't know.
Are you at a party, or are you over at just like a friend's house?
It would have to be like a party or something. And then I was like, I don't think I should be here. And all you hear is,
I need you to back away from the microphone just a little bit.
oh no, it needed to be heard. But,
No, it pierced my eardrums.
but yeah, I don't want to be at that kind of party. But
Just want to be at the party here and be like, oh, there's a Costco down the street. I buy them 1,000 bottles at a time.
And that's when I just run out the freaking window. How did I make it to a Diddy party?
It's like, back the fuck up.
But yeah, I will say this. As somebody who doesn't get out very often, though, a cruise is nice. I'll say there are areas of Mexico that are beautiful. The water is the bluest blue. That stuff you see in the movies, it's very real. It's very beautiful out there. But I can definitely wait until the next time I go, sailing. I can wait. But I do suggest that everybody try it at least once in your lifetime if you can. It is quite nice.
When I start traveling, I want to go to Greece.
Oh, yeah, I've seen pictures, and that's beautiful there, too.
Yeah, well, that's also a benefit, but the reason why I want to go is far stupider. It's because the musical is about Norse mythology, not Norse, Greek mythology and everything.
That's not stupid.
And I want to go visit Ithaca, where Odysseus is from.
That's still not a bad thing. Yeah, you want to.
It's also not a real place anymore.
That's true. But yeah, so that was September. October, I had my 31 Nights of Horror, and I was doing like reviews of movies like every day, up to a point anyway. And let me tell you something about TikTok. TikTok don't like the way you say things sometimes, and they will block your shit.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I had several videos that were like, hey, you pushing it, bro. You pushing it. I was like, I'm talking about movies. But I got those all appealed, and they're fine now. So, I never thought I had to do that. Besides that one time that, we got called out by Disney, on the old show.
Well,
But what about
The reason
that
why
one
you
TikTok
were getting-
where you were selling drugs to kids?
Oh yeah, not that one.
That is not something I was doing, but they did.
That's what TikTok said.
That's what TikTok
Yeah.
said, and I was like, I'm talking about movies. I usually do voice work on my TikToks, but no, I was talking about
But
movies.
here's the thing, though. It wasn't like a real person doesn't see those videos. It just goes through like an algorithm and
Picks out choice
it
words.
picks out like words, key like buzzwords,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if those buzzwords matches a certain type of buzzword, it's like, all right, flag it, take it down,
Yep. But I got
get them,
them
call
all.
in the FBI.
I got them all appealed, so not too bad.
Why do I keep doing that? I have a mute button. I can just mute myself and clear my throat.
You're good. You're good. But that was all of October, and another thing happens that I always find fun and funny is that when Phil gets a chance and he's watching a movie, he wants to send me like the most obscure screenshot of that movie. Guess this movie, fool.
Oh my god, that blew my mind.
I pissed him off.
Blew my mind.
I pissed him off at one, and he was like, "How did you get this?"
Okay, so normally whenever I play this game, it's me and my mom, right? And we're both watching horror films, and then we'll take a picture from on our phone of like a scene that's happening in the movie, and usually, then we'll put it on Facebook. Devin, what's this movie? And then he'll like, all right, it's this movie or whatever. And I was like, I'm gonna get you one of these days. And so, in order to get him, I waited till the opening. You know how, like, in the opening credits, like, produced by this company, made with this company, sound by this company, or whatever. I took a picture. I think it was like the WB logo.
It was the WB logo.
I took a picture of the WB logo and I sent it to him, and he was like, "Oh, it's Dreamcatcher." I was like, "What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean? There is no way."
So now that it's over, can I tell you my trick?
Yeah.
So
You go to Google. You go to Google and you take a picture of it, and it's like, all right, it's this movie.
No, not at all. What it really went down to was when you sent me the picture, there was a thing saying it was like Time Warner and another company at the bottom. I was like, okay, so WB's not really over their company, and they don't use that in movies this late in the game at this time. So I know it had to be something older. So, and then I was starting to think about, okay, what horror movies were made where it started out with a snowy scene. And my brain was just clicking through. It's like, because I have this photographic brain. And I was like, oh my God, it's freaking Dreamcatcher. And
like the neurons were firing on all cylinders.
And the real key is because I know you so well. I know you are more likely to watch a movie that you love and you've seen before.
I haven't seen that movie in like over 10 years.
Yeah, but I know you had seen it. And I know you would always choose a movie you've seen before you watch something brand new. Especially at home.
Yeah.
That's how I got you. And I was like, oh my God, it's freaking Dreamcatcher. But yeah, Photo Brain, I love movies. That's kind of my thing.
Oh, speaking of your 31 days of Halloween, Mom and I did our own pseudo 31 days of Halloween, and in one of those days we watched The Shining, a movie that I haven't seen in a very long time. I think I've seen it like once before.
And it was I've seen that
scene.
movie yet.
You haven't?
Mm-mm.
Oh. But there's a scene.
Is it that scene?
It's a different scene.
Okay.
It's a scene where it's Jack Nicholson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now Jack Nicholson goes into like a room, and then there's like a lady bathing in there, right? And she gets out of the tub, but her movement is so like eerie, and it reminded me of like a xenomorph moving. If you go back and watch that scene with how skinny she is and like this how slow she's moving, she looks like an alien from Aliens. I was like, what? It's like, I think it was also supposed to be like, oh, there's a naked girl on screen. Everyone look, but it's like I couldn't be.
That decrepit
I
old
couldn't
lady.
be distracted. I was too distracted by the way he was moving.
So
why?
This isn't even hot. It's just gross.
It's creepy. Her mouth, her jaw's gonna unhinge, and the second mouth is gonna come out.
I thought you were going to talk about the
Don't care, boob's a boob.
No.
No,
No.
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 You will care when you see this. I promise you, you'll care when you see this.
Wyatt, so are you saying that in Bad Boys 2 at the morgue, you were turned on?
No, and that was dead.
Oh.
That was dead boob.
What am I gonna do with some dead titties?
But I thought you were going to talk about the weird blowjob scene that came out of nowhere.
Oh, with the furry
Yeah.
and a bear costume.
Yeah. The Shining is something else. You got to watch The Shining.
It's wild. You know what? I think I was baking something at the time, and I was away from the couch when that scene appeared because I did not see it.
It's so out of place. You're like, wait, how did we get to this moment?
What the fuck?
But yeah, when you get a chance, watch The Shining, and then watch Doctor Sleep. It's pretty good. But yeah, that
and then watch Edge of Sleep.
Completely out there, but yeah, sure. Is it good? You know, that's the mark.
I haven't seen it. Honestly, I haven't seen it. I just, you said sleep, and then I was like, here's another movie with more sleep in it.
So after all of that, then we started, during that time actually, what's also trickling in, we were getting, it's the fall season, so our fall shows are starting. And right now, a lot of shows are miniseries. And let me tell you what's been good on TV right now. Friggin' Agatha All Along was great. And so was the friggin' Penguin.
Is the Penguin over yet?
I was about to ask the exact same
question. The Penguin is done.
Okay, so I can binge it.
So binge the Penguin. And when I say, Colin Farrell said this in an interview, you know, there are things that are going to happen in the show where you're going to be endeared to Oz. You can be like, you know what? I know he's supposed to be a bad guy, but I can back him. Now, Colin Farrell says, I'll be surprised if anybody likes him after episode 8. And I promise you, when you get to the end of episode 8, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's right. Oswald Cobblepot is a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Because when it happens, you can be like, that motherfucker. You'll see. But I need you guys to binge The Penguin because it's that good. It's not just a good crime show or a good superhero, you know, comic book show. It's just good TV.
Okay.
And Agatha All Along, still so fun.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really love this whole Batman universe. I'm over halfway done with Penguin, but you guys know how I feel about bat nipples, and you know how I feel about '60s Batman.
Mm-hmm.
But the Robert Pattinson universe, I'm really enjoying.
That
really like
detective-esque.
And I think that's part of the reason is like he's a detective and not like a superhero.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's making it good. Like The Batman was just a really good noir detective story. And then with Penguin, it's just a really good crime drama.
But it's like all super grounded.
Yeah.
But still has just a pop of fiction, you know?
I keep racking my brain because I keep hearing Matt Reeves say, I want to do Mr. Freeze. It's like, how do you fit Mr. Freeze in your universe? Is what I'm still trying to wrap my brain around. I was like, I don't know how he's going to do it, but it's Matt Reeves. I kind of trust him. This man did the Apes movies, so.
Like, I kind of don't want him to put Mr. Freeze, but also, like, Mr. Freeze is probably my favorite Batman villain.
Mm-hmm. I want to see somebody successfully do Clayface.
I still want to see that Hush.
Yeah,
and Hush would definitely.
I still want to see that Hush do in the Robert Pattinson movies.
Hush would definitely fit in this universe so
absolutely.
But I don't think I want them to touch Clayface, Killer Croc, or King Shark.
You don't want them to touch on anything fantastical. Because this world is so grounded.
Because like even like the go-to for like Killer Croc is like making him like a big like bodyguard for gangsters, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And his nickname is just Croc, you know. But
it's just a guy.
I find it was cool the first time. Like the other times, it's like okay, this is kind of lazy, you know.
True. But
he already did in the movie. He injected himself with venom, so
So Bane is very much a
he
thing.
could you could very much get a Bane.
I can see them doing a Bane.
So,
I think I'd be okay with that.
so Wyatt, you need to finish Penguin and Phil binge it. I promise you, it's good.
Okay, I'll do it.
Now,
Don't threaten me.
now,
I'll do it.
now, let me get to Marvel.
Last night. Oh,
I'm only halfway through Agatha. I already had a spoiler spoiled for me. I'm a little peeved about it. I'm going through Agatha right now.
I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie. I'm a little burned out on Marvel movies.
And here's the thing.
Marvel media, in fact, because
That's understandable.
with all like Disney Plus doing like all their shows. I mean, I really enjoyed Moon Knight. I didn't watch
Echo.
Echo. I also did not watch.
I didn't watch Echo. I forgot about her.
Most people did.
What's that one that y'all were telling me that I desperately need to watch? WandaVision? I didn't watch WandaVision.
Which is insane because without WandaVision, the rest of this Marvel TV universe doesn't really work.
Man, but like I said,
I heard that they're changing their plan because of how the last Doctor Strange did and the feedback from it. That they realized that the majority of the movie watching audience isn't going to go to Disney Plus to watch any tie-ins. So movies going forward have to be standalone.
that's smart.
That's fair.
But they're getting rid of Blade.
Oh,
They took Blade off of the
they took Blade off of the schedule,
calendar.
which
But it's filming right now.
Is it?
That's what I heard. Is that they finally, or they're finally scheduled to start filming, but it is taken off of.
it's taken off the slate.
Yeah, it's taken off the slate.
Quite
So,
literally in development hell right now.
Yeah.
I won't. You know, and I told myself I wasn't gonna get mad about it. So I won't believe anything until we get a teaser trailer. When we get a teaser trailer, I will then be either excited or kind of pissed off that it's still happening.
I also have been hearing a lot of stuff recently about Tom Holland's Spider-Man coming back. Is that real?
Yeah, they're talking about a new trilogy, with him being in college now, as opposed to the high school stuff. And that I think it's supposed to take place after Secret Wars, and I think he's gonna have something to do in Secret Wars where he actually gets that symbiote suit. So they may be following the comic pretty closely. Besides the fact that, we have to
So
talk
not
about.
only that, we might be getting a Sinister Six potentially.
They need to stop. They
So-
need to stop that. They've
No,
been
no.
trying to do a Sinister Six
Since Amazing Spider-Man
forever.
2.
They need to stop. Where's that guy with the clock? It's time to stop.
So,
Right.
so check it out. So now that we're on that, I did see Venom Last Dance. Here's the thing, I don't like it. I'm gonna be straight up. The only thing that ever works in these Venom movies for me is the dynamic between Venom and Eddie. That's the only thing that ever works for me. Everything else is just kind of weird and stupid. I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but
I will. I
No.
kind of agree with you on that, Devin. But like after the first one, I really enjoyed. After that, it's like they kept trying to do forced comedy,
true.
right? It's that forced comedy conversation that we had before, where they just like try to force in like, look at the humor between these characters, and it's like, just stop. If it's funny, let it be natural.
So
Don't try to force it.
that's the thing that it's like, it really is Tom Hardy playing with himself.
Yeah, Devin. Yeah, he's doing what now?
He's playing with
With his
himself.
goo.
Hold on. Let me clear out one of my keys so that I can have that on recording.
We're gonna mark that as a clip.
No, I'm just gonna have it on my soundboard.
But those are the only things that seem to work. Like in Let There Be Carnage, it was okay, and Carnage as a character was okay, but I didn't care. And then when you get to The Last Dance, there's shit that happens in this movie. Just like, how did we get here?
Yeah, they're introducing Noel.
And that's all they did was introduce Noel.
So what was the movie about?
Oh, that's
Noel,
all they did?
Noel sends these hunter
Oh,
creatures.
I thought you said like a full name. I thought you said his name was Nolson. I was about to freak out.
No,
You need to
no.
put a gap between Noel, Sense.
Noel sends these
Gotcha.
like hunter creatures out, and they are the bulk of what's hunting Venom in this movie. Anytime Eddie goes into full Venom mode, not just using the symbiote for like his arms or legs or the tendrils, but if he goes into full Venom mode, it can detect him and then reach him within seconds, no matter how far it is from him.
Really?
It's the dumbest shit I've ever seen from my life. I will say, when you get a chance, do not spend the least amount of money you can to see Venom: The Last Dance. The least amount of money.
All right, so you're telling me to go
Speaking
pirate
of
the movie?
spending the least amount of money you can,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Joker. A folie à deux.
I wanted to see it. I still haven't watched it yet.
I couldn't care less about that movie.
Joker makes Phil very uncomfortable.
The first one, I sort of enjoyed the first one. There was one point where I had to leave the theater because I was getting that secondhand cringe, right? And I was like, I can't. I have to. It was physically hurting me.
It was
right?
it was that scene where Arthur's actually doing stand up and he's failing.
Yeah,
Failing.
and I was
Phil.
like, no, I gotta
Phil,
go.
Phil got up.
I
and
have to go to
walked
the
out.
restroom.
Phil got up and walked out of the theater. I was like, "You all right?"
No, it was not.
He was that uncomfortable with that scene.
Yeah, no, like if their characters on screen essentially embarrassing themselves, I get like that secondhand thing because it's like, oh God, I hate this.
So
I gotta go.
So why did you see Folie à Deux?
In theaters. $40.
Damn,
So
what
I had to pay
the
for, no, together.
Oh,
You know?
Still?
At the time, we bought 2 tickets,
man.
a thing of popcorn, and a drink. $40. And
Y'all better learn the matinee.
I regret that was the matinee.
Oh my god.
That was like on Wednesday.
oh my God, you need to start going
Yeah,
first thing in the morning.
These East Coast prices are like out of control, and I've been okay with it. Like what I've seen so far, like it's like it is what it is, you know. But this one, I'm upset about it.
Why? I will tell you.
Go
ahead.
Okay. I really enjoyed Joker 1. I absolutely adore that movie. Like it's phenomenal in my eyes. Right up there with Robert Pattinson. Like fantastic, right? The second movie, there's a fantastic movie in there. But there's some cinematic choices that absolutely beyond make it fall flat. It falls through.
Damn.
Isn't it also like a musical?
I hear people are saying that loosely. Like there's musical numbers in it, but it's not like a full fledged, Demon Barber Fleet Street type thing,
I would say that it is a musical.
Okay, that is very concerning, seeing as it was not advertised as such.
Yeah.
I don't know. Typically, I tend to trust Lady Gaga as an actress. She tends to make good choices. So
What other movies has she been in?
She's done that one movie with Bradley Cooper.
She was also in American Horror Story.
She was, and that was a really good season.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says.
She did a fantastic job. The problem wasn't her.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The problem was the director. Probably the writers. I don't know whose fault it is. Okay.
But I don't,
This
I don't know
is what the
whose
movie
fault
felt
it is,
like.
But blame needs to be put somewhere, and I will find it.
It feels like someone was like, oh, hell yeah, we scored Lady Gaga. Let's use her talents to the full potential. The Joker was not that movie to do it. It felt like they already had written the story, had it down pat, just as good as the original, and was like, hell yeah, we got Lady Gaga. Let's retrofit her talents into this.
That sounds very disappointing.
I don't think that's going to be something Phil will sit through. He has to like sit through it with other people if he's going to sit through it.
No,
I'm essentially
if Phil wouldn't sit through it. I'm gonna tell you right now, Phil, don't watch this movie.
I didn't plan on it, but now I'm really not going to.
Speaking of a movie not to watch, I finally got to see The Crow.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Hold on, let me buckle in. I'm ready.
Okay.
You
guys know that
2 minutes.
2 minutes. All right. So you guys know that I am a The Crow fan. I love James O'Barr. We talked about him on the show before. So this movie did not need to happen. The one thing that's always been the biggest important thing about the movie is just the fact that love conquers all, and it is the guiding light for the person who is, doing these dirty deeds and trying to fix what had been broken. When that is a love that is started by meeting in a rehabilitation center, breaking out of said center, doing drugs together, having sex all the time, you kind of defeat the purpose of what Eric and Shelley were supposed to be about in the first place. That's not that pure love. That's just some weird, drugged up, weird shit. And I did not care for it. He dies a couple of times in this movie and goes back to the only thing that I actually did like was this weird in-between worlds where it's like a train station that extends upward and downward in like infinite space. So you see these, rails all over the place. It is a beautifully looking scene. Doesn't need to be there, but it's a great in-between world. And then he gets pushed back into the real world. And there's a point where normally, with a crow, they either take the crow, the physical crow, do something to it so he doesn't have access to his power or something like that. But what they did in this one is like your love has to stay true for you to keep your undying power. So to stay invincible, he's got to be, truly in love with this girl. He catches a video of her doing a bad thing based off of what the villain did to her. And he was like questioning his love. And there was a point where he got stabbed a couple of times and it didn't look like he was going to come back. And he had to re-find his love for her. And it was just all freaking stupid. And it angered.
Oh no, I'm bleeding out. I got 3 minutes to re-find my love.
Yeah. And I can't even say like the action was great because there's this points where he's just, when he finally dons the full crow thing, it's bad. That's my 2 minutes. I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's your. I even gave you a little bit of extra time because I had to start the timer.
It's fine, but it's not a good movie. It's one of those movies where you sit and go, we can mystery science theater this fucking thing because it deserves that kind of.
I still think we need to do like a mystery science 3000.
We could just have to find the right movie to make fun of. And there's tons out there. But yeah, don't see The Crow unless you want to make fun of it with your friends.
Should we just talk about bad movies to not waste your time on?
Oh, that's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, no, because Wyatt, I don't watch anything. I'm too busy playing video games.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. If you want Phil to watch anything, it's like, hey, we got to get together as a group and watch this thing. That's the only way he's going to sit down for it. Period.
And if it's bad, I'm going to make fun of it the entire time.
so that's something that we would have to do on another end. Oh, yeah. Another thing we did in October that we hadn't talked about, we did a horror stream.
Oh, yeah.
on the weekend before Halloween. And that was fun for the most part. The crappy thing is, in true Geek'N or y'all recording fashion, something breaks down. We forgot to do something.
My headset died
because he didn't charge it.
No, it charged. It's just that it took a lot of power streaming the game from my PC to my headset, and as well as streaming from my headset to the computer so I can get on OBS, and then having OBS stream that to Twitch to have that stream to the internet. So there was a lot of power being processed there, so it died pretty quick.
Very quickly.
So it has the time if you're streaming as well?
It doesn't say the time. It'll just
I think it just blacked out, didn't it?
Oh no, I completely misunderstood your question. Yeah, it halved the time.
Mm.
But yeah, it ran through really quick, so we switched it up and went full. Just played Phasma and on the PC.
Demonologist.
Oh, not Phasma. It was Demonologist because Demonologist is much scarier.
Oh yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot scarier.
And we switched.
And there's still some maps that I still haven't played yet. So.
Have you made it to level 20 yet to open up that one part of the map?
No.
You're almost there.
Oh, I haven't. No, I have not because Wyatt is cheating on me.
It ain't like that. It ain't like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So because the last time I checked, you didn't play Phasmophobia with me. But you're going to be playing Phasmophobia with these other people?
Hold on, I've always played Phasmophobia with
That's
you.
not true.
It's Nick who doesn't like playing it.
You've played Phasmophobia with us, like, maybe twice.
What? I used to play all the time. We were playing every weekend for a while. That's why Tim and Nick don't like playing anymore.
Yeah, I remember because you just like to randomly stream out of nowhere. And just like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go ahead and stream right now. And not tell anybody. But my phone goes off and I was like, oh my God, is Phil streaming? I'm asleep. Who's he expecting to watch this thing?
Night owls like me.
Phil has absolutely no promotional skill.
Correct.
Oh, another thing that we did that we didn't talk about. I ran my first game as DM.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Now
still
we
waiting
never
on that.
picked back up.
Yes,
Yeah, we still got to pick up that next episode. Or the next.
Yeah, the next part of the campaign.
The next session.
So yeah, we have our own D&D group, and I am the DM for that group, and it was a fun time. I love what you guys were doing with your characters. I think
I am running into a situation with my character where every time I think about it, I always go back to, man, I really like my other characters that I really want to play a bit more than the character that I'm playing now.
But you're the one who made it.
Yeah. And I hate him.
Is it because he's too stiff? He's a stiff. Compared to the rest of the group, he is very much a stiff.
Yeah. I think, because I was thinking about it, I was like, I kind of want to play the elf that I have in my reserves. You know which one I'm talking about? The elf raised by dwarves?
I don't know how he'll fit in this world.
That's the issue, because it's of the time period.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I had opened up in our game. I had opened up the world to where the world of magic and the arcane and our natural world have grown consecutively together. So it's still very much our world, but there's magic elements to it. I'm not going to explain the whole thing. That's a whole nother episode. But yeah. So we have a D&D group, and we need to get back to it. And holidays are coming, so it's going to get much harder. It's going to,
especially with my job being fucking stupid.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm officially a GM now. Yay.
I've still ran more campaigns than you. At a grand total of 2.
Oh, okay. Good. I'm happy for you, Phil.
And they weren't official. They were basically just me going, all right, now roll. Now this happens. You see this in the distance. You could ask Wyatt, because he was there for both of those. The first one I did was just him. Just me and him bullshitting.
But
the second one, did you run the one with Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ran that one. That one was a bit tougher because my nephew was constantly like, what if I have a griffin? All right, well, you have a griffin, just not with you.
Yeah.
But why not? He's protecting the town. And then he'll like try to retroactively like, all right, but like then he has a child and then he can come help.
See, and that's the hard part of trying to improvise with somebody like that who's just constantly throwing shit at you, and you're like, yes, and no, wait, what? When did this?
Yeah.
But yeah, there was that. I was trying to think, is there anything else? I guess. Do we want to get to last night?
No, I have something. I actually have watched something.
Oh, Phil watched something.
Yeah, I watched a couple of animes.
Oh, okay. Well,
Devin,
news.
have you started season 2 of Arcane?
yes, I have.
Have you caught up to the current episode? I think I'm an episode behind.
I watched all 3 episodes that dropped last week. I haven't watched the ones that dropped today.
Okay, so I am a couple episodes behind then.
Well, don't spoil anything because I haven't started yet.
Okay. All right, then I won't. But
Arcane,
another show that I watched,
beautiful.
Arcane's really good. I will say though, even though Arcane's really good, I am going to give you guys some really good advice.
It does nothing
for those people that
League of
Don't
Legends
go
lore.
play League of Legends.
Yeah, do not go play League of Legends.
Yeah, it's not going to make any sense at all.
No, not only that, but like people that play League of Legends hate playing League of Legends, and so they kick it like a drug, right? So they stop, and then they go and watch Arcane, and they go, man, I really want to go play League of Legends again, and then they regret it instantly. It's like, I fucking hate this game. It's so bad. It's so bad. Why did I do this? And then people are like, I didn't know any better, and then it's like, you did.
But
You 100% knew exactly what you were getting into.
The show is so good.
The show is really good. Just don't go play the game because the game is not.
Nothing like it.
And the second show that I started watching was Don.
I'm going to start it because, one, the theme song's catchy as hell.
Yeah, it is.
And 2, Mike had already, because I had stopped by the comic shop and talked to him for a bit. He was like, dude, you need to watch Dun. I was like, I'll get around to it. It's just I had Agatha and Penguin going on, and between that and sleep, I didn't have time. So
Yeah.
But I need a new anime to watch before I start going back to Bleach or something.
I mean, you can go back to Bleach if you want to. It's
I
another one of
heard
those
the
shows.
newest season of Bleach is like absolute fire.
That's what I'm hearing.
It's one of those shows where it just carried on way too long for me, and so I can't watch it anymore. Naruto, Bleach,
You know what?
One
Bleach
Piece.
is actually like isn't even that long. There's like 3 whole seasons of like filler. They have like nothing to do with anything in like the whole canon show.
Oh, now Phil's going to look it up. While you're looking it up, Phil, go ahead and just, I don't know, do you want to explain
No,
that?
just go ahead and skip Bleach. It's a lost cause.
I'm going to get to Dendadendo. That's what I'm actually looking forward to watching.
366 episodes of Bleach.
Are filler
Probably
or is
200
that,
of those are probably filler.
that's all it has, really? That feels so small in comparison.
Finishing on March 27th of 2012.
Did we go back in time?
88 DVD compilations that were released by that company in Japan on February 2nd, 2005. There's way too many episodes of Bleach. I'm not gonna watch Bleach.
Nah, I enjoyed it enough. I go back
Yeah,
to it.
because if you watch Bleach, you have to sort through the filler seasons.
Filler
and
seasons.
See what to skip.
We'll see.
And I know there are websites where I go, all right, you can select whatever show you want to watch, and it'll highlight everything that is just filler.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can skip all of this because it doesn't matter. And I go, okay,
Well,
I'm not gonna go to those.
I think-
It's too much work.
I think we're getting into that age where, the old big 3, they're only continuing because, we old fans are still here for it. But these newer shows like, JJK,
And that's the thing, right? So the older shows, older shonen shows, take a billion years and are still running, right? My Hero Academia is like in its last season. It's about to finish.
Because nobody wants to be like One Piece.
Yeah.
no.
JJK, I think, has like a couple seasons.
Yeah, very concise, very To the
Like
point.
they are very much. There's no filler. If you want to watch the next episode, we are not going to make a filler episode. We are going to make the next episode, and you will watch it whenever it comes out. That's what Hellsing Ultimate did, right? That show, Hellsing Ultimate, was a total of, I think, like 6 episodes, right?
To be fair, Helsing Ultimate is a condensing of Helsing.
No, that is not true.
Is it different?
Yes, because what happened was the original show ran alongside the books, and it caught up. And then when it caught up, it had to go, oh, well, we need to continue, so we'll just continue making our own show. It's exactly the same thing that happened to Full Metal
I was about
Alchemist.
to say I pulled a Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah.
Right, those two shows, like, they ran alongside the books, caught up
Also,
to
the
the
second
books.
half of it is anime unique.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they came out with Hellsing Ultimate, or Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, where it's just the story of the books.
But y'all
But
can't.
like I was saying,
But y'all can't.
Hellsing Ultimate took like 12 years before it finished.
You know, and this is nice and everything, but they can't give me my season 2 of Air Gear.
Right? Right?
Is the second season just gonna be that guy landing the trick?
No, and it's the worst possible tease. But I was mad for only like 3 seconds, and then immediately back to the manga. So that's how it happened for me. Unlike Wyatt, who was just like, no.
It's that Planet of the Apes monkey going, oh no, oh no.
But I think that's the thing that they're doing these days, because I think they know what generations are like. And it's not even just in anime. You see it a lot in TV too, because seasons back when we were all kids, 24 episodes plus, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's a season these days? Max 10?
It depends on the show. It really depends on the show, because Frieren, Beyond Journey's End,
Well,
I think it was like 24 episodes.
Going. Yeah, anime's still going long. 16 to 24 episodes is about what you can expect. But American shows, no, they're like 8 episodes now.
Mm-hmm. And then they call that a full season.
Yeah.
But
an American season used to be 12 episodes. 12 to 16 episodes.
Then they got up to like 24, just depending on the show. And I think that's like, if it was like a 30-minute sitcom, they would run up to 24 episodes.
Yeah.
And if it was one of the hour-long shows, max 16. 20 maybe, if it was really good. But that's just how TV's been, man. That's how TV's changed.
Now, granted, the quality's been a little bit better.
It's because they're having they're putting more time in like the production instead of just like, let me just put out an episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's the filler problem, is that it's like, well, let's just put out a filler episode so that we can have time to work on like the really good stuff.
True, very true.
Or you're the company that made JJK and then refused to let their company or employees go and see their families
until they finished.
You held them hostage. And it's like, you make this good, or you will never see your family again.
All right, Gojo, let's do this. I gotta go home. But,
I'm pretty sure that the president of that company is just Sukuna. That's his domain. He unlocks his domain expansion, and it's like, you can never leave until the show is finished. That's my unblockable attack.
But yeah. So, do we want to talk about last night?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Why are you going to watch it at all? Because I'm pretty sure it's archived.
I'll watch a bit. You can do spoilers because I know who won.
I'm gonna say a fight's a fight.
Okay.
So as of this recording, the big event of Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson has happened.
Which I have some theories, some controversial theories.
And so I'll say this. I think with the result of it all, a lot of folks feel duped because when we were watching those training videos leading up to the fight months ago,
And that's exactly what I was gonna fucking talk about.
and Mike was going hard.
That I'm pretty sure that fight was fucking rigged.
When I said,
I'm pretty sure they were like, listen, Mike, he's only a kid. Don't kill him. In fact, we'll pay you this much money if you lose the fight.
I'm not even going to talk about it like folks don't know what it is. Everybody knows about this fight. Almost everybody was watching this fight.
I mean, if they could get past the buffering,
Yeah.
that was on Netflix.
That's how bad it got, because Netflix doesn't buffer normally, but because this was like their first live event on the app itself, and everybody was watching.
Someone told me that, or no, not even that. The announcers that were doing the show for the fight said that Netflix is starting to do football now. Like they bought out the NFL or something like that.
Yeah, they got to deal with the NFL. I think they're going to be showing some games during Christmas or something like that. And then in January, Monday Night Raw is going to Netflix instead of being on USA.
Yeah.
So that's a weekly live stream event,
I think this was just like their test.
and they failed.
They want to see how many people were gonna watch, and then their servers broke.
The servers broke, and when I say these four fights were so tough to watch because folks were being kicked out if you could get in, and if you get to a really good part in the fight, it starts buffering, you're at 25%, then 99%, then you get kicked off of Netflix entirely, and then have to restart the entire thing.
We were lucky enough that we were able to watch the two middle fights uninterrupted,
Which were the good fights.
which were the really good fights.
Now,
That fucking
Is that one of
Serrano
the ones
fight.
that was like the two ladies?
yeah.
Yes, that's the Serrano fight.
That was the Serrano,
That one
yeah.
is bullshit. That one was like they robbed Serrano on that shit, right? She I forget her name. Was it Taylor?
Yeah, of Nikki Taylor or Vicky Taylor, something like that.
The Scotsman?
Yeah.
Scotswoman?
Yeah.
She was fighting dirty the entire time. Right?
Brilliant.
She was headbutting the entire fight.
She lost points on it.
She lost a point.
She lost a point on it,
She lost a point.
but still ended
Right.
up taking the whole
And
thing.
then Serrano had this fucking gash
Above her
right
eyebrow.
here. Above her eye.
Like, if you look it
Right.
up, it's bad. Like, she's
I sent it to Wyatt on Discord.
like she
was it last
like
night?
she's gonna need to get stitched up.
Yeah, no. Right? Not only that, but Serrano, hold on, I can pull up the tweet because I took a screenshot of the tweet.
But I think we all kind of walked out of this thing feeling kind of duped, just because the lead up. I love watching the countdown to a fight, because those things are always narratively they're some of the best things in sports ever told, because they know how to cut things the right way to make you really be invested in the story. It's a 3-part series that takes place right before the fight and everything leading up to it. They talk about, freaking Jake having this weird ayahuasca journey and how he came up with the idea of wanting to fight Mike Tyson. He approached him with it. Mike was like, yeah, sure. And then, Jake Paul's doing his Paul thing, or the Paul brothers. I'm going to say this. I do not care for the Paul brothers as entertainers. They're terrible fucking people. I don't care what anybody says.
No.
But I will say that as athletes, they're not bad. Logan, when he is doing his thing in the WWE, because he has signed a contract with the WWE, he performs. I will never forget, there was a Royal Rumble match, and him and another wrestler by the name of Ricochet did this combined double spring clothesline off of one side of the ring to the other. Like, Logan's on one side of the ring, Ricochet's on the other side. They do what's called a springboard, which they jump up off the top rope and then wherever they're going to jump. So they did that on opposite sides and jumped, clotheslined each other in the middle of the friggin' ring. Granted, a WWE wrestling ring is 20 feet by 20 feet. That's a lot of space to cover.
Yeah.
So when they made it and they hit that clothesline, it's one of the best moves of the night. So Logan can perform. And I even think Jake can perform to an extent. I just don't like them as people.
Mm.
So everybody's rooting for Mike, and all you hear is when Mike accepted the fight was, Mike is going to murder this kid. Because we're thinking...
And that's what I'm saying. Because if you go back
honestly,
to...
I didn't think that.
Really?
If you go back and look at like his training videos and like how much energy he's putting behind his, attacks and how like fast he's going,
It was insane.
and then you go back to last night and then you watch the fight where he threw like maybe barely broke double digits.
Because like I didn't think that he was going to win because he's like
58 years
he's
old.
more than like 60 years old,
Yeah.
like considering in sports, if you're 40 years old, like you're geriatric.
Most guys tend to retire around in their 40s, late 30s.
Like not in their 30s. Most people retire in their 30s because like when these like 21-year-olds pull up, like they're outrunning people, So yeah, the fact that like Mike Tyson has had such a long career on such a high impact sport, like it ruins your arms, it ruins your legs, it ruins your brain, So
Oh yeah.
to have like some young dude come up and like, hey, let's fight, like I don't know, if it was like, somebody from back in the day, like yeah, I could see it, right? These two old dudes like going at it, showing they still got it, but
I think everybody was living off of the nostalgia of what we know Mike Tyson to be. But when you go back and look at his old fights, Mike is a freaking savage. When when he is taking out guys in the first round, and when he's the main event of the night, you taking out a guy in the first round is a 3-round, 3-minute round, and you're taking him out in a minute and a half. That ultimately makes you a badass in everybody's book.
Yeah.
So when
but that was like 15 years ago.
20 plus. So when we're seeing these training videos of Mark going hard up against his trainer, almost knocking his trainer out because he's going in that hard, you're like, oh, we got old Mike back. He's going to bring that monster to this dumb kid who decided to challenge him. That's what everybody was expecting.
That's the thing. Like a trainer's just a dude,
Yeah. But the trainer is usually somebody who has boxing experience.
Yeah, those trainers are there. Like they still take like, well, not really like full force hits whenever they're hitting the gloves and everything like that.
But I mean,
but they're also still
trophies as a trainer won. You don't usually. I'm not saying all the time, but usually these trainers, like, they're not decorated like boxers,
Yeah.
True.
I will say that there were some evades from Mike Tyson last night that were still like pretty good evasions. Like he would he would dip low.
Yeah, he looks like old school Mike. I think it all showed in the first 2 rounds where Mike was going hard. And when I saw Jake, trying to clinch and get close, it's like, you better be careful getting that close, because...
yeah, because he'll bite your ear off.
Everybody's going to remember that Holyfield fight.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that the entire fight, he was biting his glove.
Yeah. And the excuse that he used? Did you see the after...
I think he said I just have a biting fetish or something like that.
Yeah, I got a biting fixation. I was like, dude, that's not something you want to talk about right now. Did you just make a joke about yourself? Because all we saw was you biting your glove. I don't know if you're trying to keep your mouthpiece in or what are you doing? But I wanted to see. Matter of fact, here's a good example. Thursday night before fight night, because it was Friday night, they did the weigh-in, right? Mike's in his stupid Versace draws or whatever, and then they do the face-off.
Yeah, and then
Jake does this dumbass crawl up to Mike, steps on his foot, and apparently Mike has a thing about people touching his feet.
Mm-hmm.
Mike goes, and it's so fast, slaps the shit out of Jake Paul, and then does a double tap. And I was like, this man's still a monster at 58. So you're still believing he's a monster. So when you see what happened the following night on fight night,
that's why I say the fight was rigged.
It's insane to me because Mike was going hard the first 2 rounds, and round 3 hit. He got tapped a couple of times by Jake, and he got rocked. Didn't fall. He was never knocked down or knocked out. He just teetered a little bit. And then he was off of his game from round 3 on.
Yeah. I don't think I'm...
That's that age.
Barely on his game that entire fight.
Also possible.
I still think it was rigged.
Somebody brought something to my attention that on his entrance, he tripped over his foot. So,
did he?
Yeah, when he was walking in, he kind of tripped over his foot for a second. So he was already off of his rocker before even making it to the ring. And I'm like, this is insane. I put it up on Facebook too. I was like, all I want, because I knew Mike wasn't going to win, but I didn't want him to get knocked out either. All I wanted was for Mike to knock the wind out of Jake Paul one time. So,
like I said, he barely threw any punches.
Yeah,
that entire fight.
I think out of the whole 8 rounds, 8 shorter rounds, mind you,
like 2-minute rounds.
Yeah, Jake threw almost 3 times as many punches as he did.
I think so.
Because I think Mike threw like 97, and I think Jake threw like maybe 2+, almost 300.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
yeah, I think so.
So
I don't know the numbers.
So yeah, he threw like 2-3 times more many punches, and I'm like, I don't know if he's trying to think his way through this, or is he just taking these hits. Don't get me wrong, Mike was taking the hits. He wasn't going to get knocked down. But it's like, it really looked to the point where I was like, oh my God, I'm watching this white boy beat up this old man.
This is fight. I just looked it up. This fight is worse than I thought. Like, I don't know why I thought Jake Paul was older.
No, he's 27. He's younger than y'all.
Yeah.
It's a 30-year gap.
Than us.
Yeah.
Like
it's also a lose-lose.
Yeah, a better fight would have been like Conor McGregor, right? He's like 36. You know, like,
oh my God, I think you and Conor McGregor the same age.
I think Paul. I think he called him out. I said that he wants to fight McGregor, but McGregor said no.
He wants to fight Canelo.
He wants to fight Canelo. Okay.
Oh, another thing I realized after last night: everybody's a boxing fan all of a sudden. People, everybody knows stats and shit. Like, we all know boxing all of a sudden. Everybody's watched a couple of Rocky movies and they think they just know boxing all of a sudden. They watch.
No, but I actually did watch a couple of like video essays on boxing, right? So,
I mean, hey,
I know some stuff.
Yeah, I know, but you know, when I was scrolling through my TikToks, and that's all everybody's been talking about the last 2 days, is folks just like they've been watching, you know, boxing forever. And no, you haven't. You just really wanted to watch this fight, and all of a sudden you know stats about, you know, everything that Mike has ever done, everything that Jake has done in his fights. And here's the thing:
what that really is that they did the research that day. I gotta get my information out. Just tell the first person that you meet. You there, sitting at this desk at a hospital. Here's my information.
Don't get me wrong.
that I researched today.
The way I see it, even though Mike lost by the numbers, he still won at the end of the day because I read it up. He got like a $20 million payday out of that.
Yeah, but Paul made more.
Yeah, because his production.
He was the main event.
Not just because he was the main event, but he runs the company that did the promotion for the whole show. It's his show at the end of the day. So he got major payout from this.
Of course he did.
And
but I was going to say that it's also like a lose-lose situation, right, for Paul, because when he wins, it's like, great, you beat up a 58-year-old man. He's old, man. And if he loses, you got the shit kicked out of you by an old man.
But it was Mike Tyson, so I think in his crazy brain, he's like, even if I got knocked out by Mike, I still went toe to toe with Mike Tyson. In his brain,
I don't think that's going toe to toe. I think that's just getting the shit kicked out of you by Mike Tyson.
So it does nothing.
I'm not gonna pull up to a howitzer, military mortar cannon, my fists up, get hit by a mortar, go. At least I got some good hits in.
I said that when I found out what the payout was, I was like, the payout was that much. I'll take a punch from Mike. Not in the face, just in the gut area.
Hey, if someone offered me $20 million to take a real punch from Mike Tyson, I'm absolutely take my glasses off.
Just not the face, Mike. Not the face, Mike. Not the face. Just in
Mike, I have only 2 rules: not the face and leave my ears intact.
Not gonna lie, I'd probably pretend to be hit. As soon as that punch comes, like, do my best to dodge out the way and just throw myself on the floor.
You're gonna flop a soccer flop.
Doesn't even make full contact. Just I'm on the floor.
But here's the thing: doesn't make full contact, you still feel it.
Don't care whether I feel it or not. I'm gonna be on the floor. I just don't want to be hit twice.
And that's the thing. Mike is fast enough to do a double tap, and nobody
before it hit the ground.
Yeah. Don't
No, what you do, Wyatt, this is what you do, right? You dodge the first one, and then you fall onto the ground. And whenever they come over there and try to wake you up, you stay unconscious, right? Until you get to the hospital. Right? Until you get to the hospital.
Whoa, what happened?
Check
Where
this out.
am I?
Wyatt's in the ambulance like this.
You gotta make sure you pee yourself just to make it believable. You gotta piss your pants.
I don't know.
He's going under. Get the smelling salts.
Out. He's still dry. All right, I didn't drink enough water. I'm trying.
Pull the smelling salts out. You gotta stay unconscious.
They pull you out and they get you in the ED. They get you in the emergency room. It's like, this guy's perfectly fine. I mean, and then you wake up. Oh, what happened, sir? Did you?
You wake up. I'll pay you $1 million if you tell nobody. He's like, okay.
But I don't want to end up like Captain America. I've told you,
Jesus.
Infinity War is a horror movie to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Captain America hit by Thanos, who knocked out Hulk.
Yeah.
That's right, because he gave him a good left, and he was out.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was not only that, but he put all of his weight into that punch. You saw him like take a step forward and then the whole like connect.
So,
and I was like, "No, Captain America!" Oh my!
So
the one true casualty of that war was Captain America.
So here's the thing about that fight, though. In watching all 8 rounds go through, Jake had reach on Mike, and there was no way Mike was going to be able to get in to do work just because Jake had that reach on him, and he wasn't going to get there.
Mike Tyson has fought people that were a lot taller than him.
True.
In his prime.
He was also
in his
like
prime as well.
He was also a lot younger.
Yeah, in his prime. That's how he got in. I'm starting to stutter. But that's how he. I think it was Muhammad Ali, wasn't it?
He's never fought Ali.
He's never fought Ali?
Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
Yeah, they were in 2 different periods of boxing.
Yeah, I don't care how fit and in shape and how much prime human you are. I know them knees is popping.
He had on a knee brace. And
so I don't care. I'm only 30 years old. And my knees My bees be crackling like some cereal.
I was at work today.
Some cereal. Some cereal.
I was at work today and I stood up and my knees hit. I was like, God, I'm feeling like Mike
Sounded like
Tyson.
some Rice Krispies.
I can't even sneeze properly without having to be hospitalized.
So you're in your 50s and you telling me you ain't cracking?
Oh,
Nah.
I mean, there's
Why are you lying like that?
the other when Wyatt was here in Texas, we went to a convention together, and like for no reason, my back started hurting.
I told you.
Do you remember that, Wyatt?
Mm-hmm.
Like I had it's just out of nowhere, unrelenting pain. I was like, what the fuck's happening? I think we were laughing, and I think I laughed too hard. I laughed so hard I hurt my back.
Have you?
Yo, my sternum cracks now. Yeah, sometimes like if I'm stretching or something, I hear it like right there in the middle of my chest.
I don't think it's supposed to do that.
It's
I
not.
don't think it's supposed to do that either.
I'm
I
sorry.
might go to
does.
hospital, get that checked out, bro.
I'll tell you right now. Just wait for the day you sneeze and you feel that snap in your lumbar. It's not fun.
Joke's on you. I won't feel it. My spine's reinforced.
That just makes it worse for you.
I just can't bend.
But yeah,
That's gonna be like my. You're gonna like see the two rods poking out as my back is like that.
but
Yeah, I get where you would want to fight a legend, and financially it makes sense, like all the sense in the world, right? Like it's like Mike Tyson is still Mike Tyson today,
Yeah.
you know. So like financially, yeah, like it makes all the sense in the world, but I don't know. I wouldn't want some new runner going up challenging Usain Bolt in 20 years. You know, like,
Yeah.
Usain Bolt probably, keeps up with his running and, like, keeps in peak health and stuff, but he'd be, 50, 60 years old,
Yeah.
Like, what's he going to do against a 25-year-old?
true. So I think what Jake wants to do, if he wants to be considered a legitimate boxer, he needs to fight legitimate boxers, not retired.
No one in retirement.
Not retired MMA fighters or other YouTubers.
No more KSI?
No more KSI. I think KSI fought Logan, didn't he? They're the
I don't remember which one he fought.
They're the Pauls. They're the same.
I don't keep up with them.
They're the Pauls. They're the same.
The last thing I remember that was it KSI and one of the Paul brothers and Mr. Beast put out that their lunchies
that had mold?
that had mold in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're like, look at this. You have Lunchables, get what? Sugar, more sugar, more sugar. You get our stuff, you have natural produce stuff. And you get like a full regular size drink, not something this big. And then it gets released, and there's like a bunch of mold and everything. And it's like, all right.
Well,
Something.
that wasn't the best investment.
No, it wasn't. And then KSI, he freaked out when everyone was criticizing him because of his involvement on it.
That's the only thing about being a social media star. You start to feel a little privileged, and I don't know. I guess I'm just a little too old for that. I'm good.
You ain't got time for that.
I would just appreciate having fans.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. But they seem to be. It was a successful business night because they made a fuck ton of money, and I don't know how Netflix is going to feel because this was their first big live event, and if they don't get their crap together, folks are going to start dropping Netflix.
Like I said, I think it was a sort of pilot test.
This
run.
was the wrong pilot for them to choose.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing whenever video game companies put out like betas and stuff like that, right? Alphas. And it's like we need to be able to stress test our servers.
Okay,
So
but the
let's
thing
let's get the community in here
thing
to
is-
see like how fast it will break.
Thing is, though,
Right.
this was a big time fight night. Like
Yeah.
this
This was not the thing to beta test.
you could do like say, oh, Netflix is going to do football, like not football, but soccer. Yeah, you can do it for that. I'm not saying like
No,
like the
what I'm
World
saying
Cup or
is
anything, but
no. Like, I mean, I understand. Yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is like it also makes sense is because they're doing like the most stressing, putting it through the most stress, right? This is the biggest event in the world at that time, being streamed all over the world. Everyone's watching it, right? Let's see like how much of our servers can handle
but
this.
what?
Not the
Not
thing to
enough.
do it
Okay.
on.
But what do you do?
Not enough.
What do you do?
Then you get more.
Okay, but what does that say to your audience in the process? You think how many folks are actually going to stick around after last night? I mean, I will. I mean,
Now, the thing to do was a smaller event, and then you should have all the stats to see what kind of strain, and then from there be like, okay, we can handle 10 times more, or no, we can't
But
handle
there's
10
no
times
actual
more.
way to predict how many people are going to actually watch the event, right? So they do the biggest event, prepare for more bigger events. So whenever they get smaller events, they have, all right, we can definitely handle this because it's not as big as what we did before.
This was the equivalent to a game launch no day one patch.
yes, exactly.
Talking about it's okay, we'll fix it later.
But here's the thing.
Launch that shit in early access. Figure it out from there.
But people are tired of early access. Why?
And then if it, you can scale up from early access so that at your 1.0, your servers are still probably going to break, but not nearly.
Then you end
to
up with
the
a situation like Star Citizen.
Star Citizen doesn't crash. Like when everyone floods the servers.
Why?
No.
You and I played
crashes
the other night
because the
and
servers
we
are
both
too
crashed.
old. They crash because the servers are too old. But when there's an influx of people, you can get in. There's never a queue to like get in. Like they're never
When I
like,
started
oh,
playing,
too
there
many
was a
people
massive
logged
queue
on.
all the time.
So I'm going to say this though, and this is kind of just directing it all around. As far as Netflix goes, sure, this was a beta test, a big stress test. It was a bad idea to do it on this fight, but I completely understand where Phil's coming from. This is a big fight night where it's almost guaranteed that everybody and their mom was watching.
Mm-hmm. So that whenever people are like, all right, let's do it now, because the Super Bowl's coming up, right?
Super Bowl will be on Prime TV. They're not going to put it on Netflix.
Are you sure about that?
Almost
They
possible.
might.
Are you sure about that?
I mean, yeah, they got the NFL license, but I don't think. I mean, that's a good way to put eyes on it, but also on Prime TV, when you don't have to pay for anything at all. Period.
Companies are greedy though, Devin. They want that money.
And I get
If
it.
they found a way to make that money.
That's why, like I said earlier, I'm kind of worried about the WWE. Monday Night Raw is a big show, and millions of people watch weekly.
Actually, that's what they should have. They should have done. Like WWE, done an episode of WWE. If that wasn't like, if they didn't have the service for it, fix it for the next one. And then when you have the Mike Tyson getting back into fighting, no,
But
you're
here's the
already
thing.
prepared.
Here's the thing with that though, Wyatt. Not very many people. I mean, people that are into sports, yeah, they'll watch the boxing match, right? People that are into the sport will watch the wrestling match. The other people that aren't into the sports, like myself, right, are not going to tune into the wrestling match. But I tuned into the Mike Tyson fight because it was the Mike Tyson fight.
No, but that's exactly it, right? It's like
You see, you got pulled in for the
you're
novelty.
supposed to scale up, right? The one of the biggest problems with like, especially like MMOs, like when they launch and like their servers just absolutely get obliterated, is that they didn't do proper testings. Like MMOs that go into an open beta test before official launch generally don't have those launching problems because they already know. They're like, okay, 100,000 people joined our game, and here's the load. Let's expect 10 times this. So let's go and expand our servers. Even if we don't reach that 10 time, like, it's fine, So if you started with WWE, you're like, oh, we're struggling a little bit, or oh, we're approaching the buffering stage. Let's expand, make bigger, better servers. That's how it's supposed to be. Somebody really dropped the ball.
Because I can say, as a fan, I know the wrestling audience is that big. And
yeah, but there's still like a capacity limit, right? You get 2 cups, or you have a cup. This is your server cap. This is how many people that you can get to before the buffering stage, right?
Mm-hmm.
But your wrestling night maybe up to here, right? You're getting close, but you're not at that cap, right? Big events like the Mike Tyson fight and the Super Bowl are going to be well beyond that peak.
But that's the exact thing, right? So that wrestling, you're almost to that cap. Because you see you're almost to that cap, like you have all the stats. You know what the cap is and how the server is like going to respond. You should be like taking action there, so that when the Mike Tyson comes back, everybody's not lagging.
I'm sorry. I just realized if we're still doing the covering up labels. I thought that was hilarious. Sorry, Phil.
I mean, I don't have to. It's just that's the way my drink. That's. Do you want to see the ingredients for my soda?
No. Just tell them, hey, we're sponsored.
Do you want me to have the hole on this side while I'm drinking to like show that
we're sponsored by Coke?
Like I said, the hole on this
all $2.
I'm not covering anything. I'm just holding my cup.
Just the way you were holding it looked like you were just deliberately covering the lid.
No, that would be doing this.
What kind of soda are you drinking?
Hands. That's what I'm drinking.
Never heard of that brand before.
I'm gonna catch these.
Hands.
Which is what Jake should have caught last night.
But I want to talk about. I pulled up the tweet because we talked about it earlier. That Serrano.
The Taylor Serrano fight.
Yeah. And I, for some reason, have closed my Twitter. I can pull it back up. But, yeah. She tweeted out, because they put up, they released like the stats after the fight, where Serrano landed 107 more punches. She got a point deducted, and she lost 95 to 94.
By a point. God.
By a point. That fight was bullshit.
I hate to see it. I really do. Because I heard, if anything, that was probably the fight of the night. And I watched the fight before, which was the Ramos fight.
That fight and the Ramos?
Yeah, the Ramos Barrios fight.
Yeah.
No, that was a good fight.
I'm gonna be honest. I would be so embarrassed to have the opening fight be the fight of the night when you're the main event.
It doesn't matter when you make that.
No, because the opening fight was
Wyatt. Was the Indian guy?
Yeah, it was the Indian guy from Bollywood, and he was an actor. He's an actor.
He's an
in
actor?
Bollywood. He's an actor in Bollywood.
They do everything in India.
Yeah, and then I think a guy from.
He wasn't Mexican.
I think he was like. I don't think he was Puerto Rican either.
Something like that. But
no, I don't think he was Puerto Rican. It was somewhere else. But it was like those two guys, right? That fight was not that great.
And the old boy was getting manhandled in more ways than one.
Yeah. At one point he had. At one point, he was up against the ropes in the corner, and he like had his back towards him, and then the other guy was legitimately humping him from the back.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, y'all do remember this is a pro fight, right?
It's like people that do that, I cannot stand. Yeah, you're winning the fight. Okay, you don't have to like show your dominance.
He got teabagged IRL.
Oh yeah.
No, because he was on the ground.
No, but
he was getting
it's
fucked in
the
the
equivalent.
ass.
It's the equivalent.
Basically, he's like that was trying to fuck him in the ass.
Like legit, it was like
sportsmanship.
Yeah,
there was none in that match.
Yeah, not in that match.
But the next match,
But that second fight, oh my
so
god!
good.
They had the reigning champ and then the challenger. There was one moment where the challenger got a hit in, right, and the champ staggered, right. He almost went down, and then when he came up and they were like, "All right, we're good, go back into the fight." That challenger essentially got his second win,
And
right? And he was
dominant.
like,
He-
I can
take this
He
dude.
felt that. He felt that, and so he went in and started like trying to get his more hits in,
and I think
faster.
I think he got the most points in that round, and
I think so.
And the following round after that, and then the champ Barrios, I think something clicked, and he was like, "Oh, what's the thing they say now? Oh, I understand it now."
Yeah. No, the thing is, so the after that stagger that he got, and then the round after that, like he was still dazed, like he was still like not 100% there.
Mm-hmm.
But once he got back, he was like, "All right, let's play it cautiously."
He rolled for second wind and got a nat 20.
Yeah,
That was a strong night of boxing, a good money night for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Serrano, I hope she got paid really well. I hope Taylor got paid.
I hope so too.
I hope Taylor got paid well too.
I hope Taylor got paid less.
But she won the fight.
I don't care.
Winners get the bigger purse. That's kind of how that works.
I don't care. She fought dirty that entire match. And Serrano was fighting with one eye.
Yeah, I gotta go back and watch that fight. But
I had Tim here during that fight, and he was just like, "She's rubbing her dirty dreads all over her. Get your braids off me."
But then it led to the main event, which was disappointing.
Very disappointing.
It started off hot, and then round 3 happened, and it was just downhill from there. And then at the end of round 8, like the last 10 seconds, Jake decides he wants to like bow and show respect to Mike, and I don't know if he was just trying to do it as a showman thing, just show he's showing respect, or
if he was doing it because he was cocky.
yeah. And it's very hard to tell because I don't trust the Paul boys. I don't at all.
Especially after what the last thing I know that they did was what happened in Japan, and it's like, all right, they are now a stain on America.
Yeah, probably why they live in Puerto Rico.
Probably.
But decent night altogether. I'm looking forward to nothing of that sort from him from now on. I want Mike to retire, and I want us to get back to geeky stuff because we talked about a lot of boxing just now.
I mean, it's fresh on our minds. We watched it last night.
It was the hot thing.
It was less than 24 hours ago.
It was literally the hot thing this weekend was this fight.
Mm-hmm. Was the fight?
I will say this: I enjoyed the story leading up to everything more than the actual fight. And like I said, watching those training videos, when you watch a Mike go ridiculously hard, it got you inspired. Like, oh, maybe I can box. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Wyatt, I want you to go and look up those training videos that Mike Tyson put out for these fights, right? And then tell me that he didn't perform his best.
When you see the training videos and then you see what happened during the fight, you'll be like, these are not the same people.
There's something wrong here.
Yeah,
they're not connected.
Yeah, there's a big disconnect here, and I can't tell what it is.
It was rigged.
A lot of folks are saying
game was rigged from the start.
A lot of folks are saying that.
I don't know. I'm still saying
say it as a joke.
He was just old. The fight should have never happened.
That probably plays a big factor in it.
Mm-hmm.
I say it as a joke as well, but I also sort of believe it at the same time.
It's like Mike is old, and it was 2 rounds in him. He was hoping to knock out Jake, and it just didn't happen.
Mm.
And I feel like Jake was just playing with him the next 6 rounds. So
yeah.
But any more geeky stuff? What are we going to get into next? It is the beginning of season 2, and I know there's a lot to talk about. What do you guys want to talk about next?
What's going on?
In the next shows.
I don't know. I don't even know what's going on. Like, because we've got a Marvel content dry. Star Wars is going to be dry for a little bit.
We're getting Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, but that's not
Getting what?
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew?
Oh yeah.
Star Wars show, which my friend from work described as Star Wars but Goonies.
Yes, that is exactly what that is. That is exactly what that is, and I kind of like it. It feels fresh. It feels new. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'll be the judge of that.
But as far as, Marvel content in 2025, God, it's going to be 2025.
We're old, Evan.
There's
We're old
there's
now.
Captain America Brave New World that comes out in February. I think Thunderbolts comes out in May, because I think they got the first weekend in May. No. Something else got the first weekend in May. Because Mike and I talked
Speaking
about it.
of, do you know anything about the Thunderbolts?
I know a little bit, not a ton.
Because I was
Yeah, they're gonna have everyone that's in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, because
And
I
Bucky.
saw the trailers and I was like, wait, this has nothing to do with Thunderbolt Ross, which is why they're the Thunderbolts, right?
I think they're the Thunderbolts because they were employed by Thunderbolt Ross.
They weren't, though.
Oh, what's her name?
Yeah, these ones are not. They're by Vicky.
Yeah, Vicky Fontaine.
Valerie.
Yeah, that's what it's
Yeah,
Vicky.
Valerie.
Val. So yeah, they're hired by Val, and according to what that trailer makes it look like, it makes it look like Red Guardian gives them that name.
That's what. And that's why I was confused. I was like, hold on. So where's
And
Red Hulk going to be in this?
I think they're going to bring him up.
He's gonna be fighting Captain America,
No,
and not the
no,
Hulk.
that's the thing. I think he will be brought up because I think the events of Thunderbolts takes place after Captain America: Brave New World.
Okay.
So we're getting Brave New World and then Thunderbolts.
Yeah, Brave New World's in February because black movie.
That's so fucked, man. That is super.
Did it not click for you?
It didn't.
No.
Not until now.
That is so bad, man. What the?
I'm sorry I ruined that for you. I'm sorry that
That is so disappointing.
I'm so sorry that didn't click.
Now it did because
Oh my god.
Sam Wilson. Who's the other super soldier? What's his name?
Oh my god, I forgot his name just so quickly. Noah Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley,
Isaiah
and then
Bradley. Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah.
and then I don't know who Giancarlo is playing, but
He's playing a guy from
he's black.
He's from the Serpent Society.
Yeah,
what the
he's
Society
black.
is.
So
Yeah, it didn't click for y'all, huh? I was in the shop with Mike
Man,
and I was just joking about it, and it was like, "Yep, you're right. They did it. They put it in February because of black people."
That's so.
because now that you see it,
I can't
First
unsee it.
off, don't let that put a stain on the movie. Put some respect.
No.
Let's put some respect on Sam Wilson's name.
And then now that after you say this, Devin, there's gonna be a lot of people out there that are gonna be like offended for black people because the black movie's coming out in Black History Month, right? And it's like, yeah, it's pretty fucked, but like,
Y'all do realize we did the same with Black Panther, right?
did that come out in February?
yep.
Did it really?
Yes.
I don't remember that. I gotta fucking look this up. This is so bad.
Oh my god.
So I'm pretty sure we can expect a Blade coming out in February of 26.
That's the real reason why it got delayed.
Ooh.
That's the real reason why it got taken off the calendar is because they have already
It's like
filled February.
we had already filled our black quota, so let's push it to next year.
Yeah.
Let me find out Wonder Man is coming out in February.
Oh, speak.
Holy shit.
It didn't click, huh?
No.
It's okay, Phil. It's okay.
Hey, but at least Black Panther 2 got released in November
Yeah.
of last
Yeah, it did.
year, 2 years ago.
But
So it's not completely fine.
yeah. Speaking
Just mostly.
Speaking of Wonder Man, that made me think about the new slate of Marvel shows. And the only one I'm really looking forward to is Daredevil Born Again, because Daredevil has always been good.
Mm.
And
Are they going to use the same actor as?
yeah, they brought everybody back.
Speaking
Oh, really?
of, I never finished my thing. So you remember I told you we're potentially getting a Sinister Six?
Oh yeah, we shot right by that.
Yeah. So
I think it's because I was upset about that.
yeah, Marvel and Sony supposedly have potentially come up with a deal. So all those bad movies that Sony was making was never to make a good movie, was never to make any money. It was to lock up the rights to those characters, because as long as
They're being used.
there's as long as they're used, rights don't go back, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's why companies do that.
Yeah, supposedly they came to an agreement, and the Sonyverse villains can starting to be used by Marvel. On top of that, we finally got information on the Hulk, and potentially a deal was made.
I was about to say, didn't Universal and Marvel work something out, right? So they can use Hulk like that.
Yeah, supposedly. But we found out why there couldn't be a Hulk movie. So it turned out that Universal owned distribution rights to the Hulk, but they don't own the character.
That's right. I think we talked offline.
Yeah.
I think we talked offline about this.
Yeah, y'all talked about this while y'all were here.
Yeah.
At my house.
So yeah, if the title is Hulk, they can name the title whatever they want. It can be anything as long as it's technically not a Hulk movie.
Which is why we're getting, Red Hulk and Brave New World.
Yeah.
Which makes me question, if that's the case, can they say the name The Hulk if it's not a Hulk movie and they don't have the distribution
rights?
Because
they've used Hulk in all of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But wasn't there a deal struck in those?
The movie itself can't be
Hulk
titled Hulk, or the main character. If you can argue that the main character is the Hulk, then they can't distribute it.
That's right. That's why you said that Thor Ragnarok wasn't a Hulk movie, even though it kind of was.
Yeah. But yeah, it was over something super petty. It was Universal had a Hulk statue in Universal Studios, and I think Disney had sued them to take it out because they wanted a Hulk statue in Disney World, and there was this whole thing. So Universal has been petty ever since. That's why we never got another Hulk movie.
It's sad. That's so freaking sad. Oh, you said statue, and it made me think of something. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think they reconciled now. Probably new leads of both companies. Who knows?
Probably.
But we're supposed to be getting World War Hulk.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I think everything's just gonna take place after Doomsday Secret Wars, after all that happens. And then we'll see where the universe is after that point. Because you said statue, that made me think of something that just happened recently. DC, along with Jim Lee, unveiled a new statue of a Green Lantern.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture.
I was about to say, it's would you guys like to guess which Green Lantern it was?
It was John Stewart.
It's John Stewart.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's also 9 foot tall.
Yeah, and it's you could have chose any Green Lantern, but you chose John Stewart. Good on you guys, because I would have expected them to go Hal Jordan, because it's Hal.
Yeah.
But they went John Stewart, and I was like,
why? Because he's white?
The thing is, okay, so
completely sandbag me? Come on, man.
But yeah, okay, so comics are Hal Jordan, Like that's the Green Lantern, but for animation, it's Jon Stewart.
They like using John more than like using Al.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
And that's understandable. Jon Stewart's a good character.
so
I just wish
There-
it was Guy Gardner.
no, you don't.
No one wishes that.
Plus,
No one
plus,
wants Guy Gardner.
plus, we're getting Guy Gardner and Superman Legacy, or whatever they're calling it these days. Matter of fact,
Ew, are we really?
that's one of the ones that's releasing at the beginning of May. Is Superman Legacy, and I think there's a Marvel movie releasing the same day, so they got to go head to head. So that's gonna be interesting. We haven't done that since BVS and or was it Justice League and an Avengers movie?
I don't even remember.
I don't even remember.
No, I think it was BVS and then Infinity War.
Probably
No, the first Avengers movie.
Maybe.
When did those movies come out?
The first Avengers came out in
2012.
2012.
When did BVS come out?
I don't remember.
Someone has the internet. We all have the internet.
I don't remember. Let's see. When did Batman vs Superman come out? 2016.
Then I don't know.
It was
And I
it
don't
was
know.
something where a DC movie and a Marvel movie released on the same weekend, and DC lost heavily that week.
Well, DC's been losing the cinematic universe since they started.
Well, but I'm hoping they'll get to build it back up. I'm hoping James Gunn will bring some interesting stuff. I'm hoping the Superman movie will be good and lead us off into a new era of superhero movies.
Honestly, I hope they don't.
Really?
I actually prefer DC doing the standalone thing.
I would also like the standalone movies. Not everything needs to be connected.
So-
The Batman is amazing. Joker is amazing. The rest of the Justice League, terrible.
Not so much.
Suicide Squad, the second one was pretty alright.
Well, you don't like the Mexican guy that can start fires, turning into like a giant Aztecan god to fight. What's her name? The witch.
That movie was a movie. It was pretty watchable.
It was all over the place, and it was really a Deadshot Harley showcase. That's what the movie was.
With the sprinkle of the Joker.
Now,
The tattoos.
now I've seen people.
And here's the thing.
I've seen people do rewrites of that, and the best way to rewrite that is take out. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the witch's name. Take her out and let Joker.
Enchantress or something like that.
Enchantress, yes, Enchantress. Take her out and let Joker be the main villain.
The Joker's overdone.
Overdone now.
I think then he was overdone.
I don't,
Like
I don't hate Jared Leto's Joker.
no, because I think the Joker before him was
Heath Ledger.
Heath
Ledger. So at the point, no, you're right. It wasn't overdone at the time. But the Joker's overdone now.
Which I think is good to just let's leave him out of media for a while. Let him build himself back up. That's why as we're doing the Batman, that little tease that ended up being just a deleted scene, leave it as a deleted scene. We don't need to see the Joker again. And
I got an idea. We should create
the
a
Batman
whole
to
new-
have like 3 or 4 more movies, and then like having the Joker pop up in like at the end of each movie, like he keeps going back to like Arkham, like talking to him or something, But then like really build that up so that when he does show up, it hits.
so you're saying do like the Joker's a Hannibal Lecter kind of thing. And, he's just like a weird consultant. And it's like, why is Batman consulting with the Joker of all people?
Yeah. But
Do you
then
call
like,
him by like an actual name, or did they call him the Joker in those situations?
I think they just.
Joker.
A big part of
'Cause
the
we-
a big part of the
do-
Joker is that they
I feel like they just
don't know his name.
I feel like they just give him a number.
could do that.
While he's in Arkham, just give him a number. And
Prisoner 69.
nice.
I wonder if prisons like actually like refuse to use like pop culture numbers for their prisoners. Right? So there's no 420, no 69.
It wouldn't surprise me.
We need inmate number 42069.
That's me.
And then they save the really bad ones for the really worst guys. It's like, we need inmate 374666. You rang.
Ooh.
Pentagram summons. He pops up from the hell. I'm here. Jury duty. No.
Jury duty in jail.
Yeah. Well, he has to.
He still has to
condemn his other peers. Who gets death row first?
But I'm hoping DC decides to do well. Marvel's slate, I think they pulled a lot off, which is a good thing for them. And I think we're so used to this connected universe thing, we can't help it. Like, I rewatched Deadpool vs. Wolverine the other night because it's on Disney Plus now. And it's still so much fun. And I still stuck around through the credits, even though, you know, we're so trained on it. Like, I did it when I was watching The Penguin, too. Like, The Penguin ended, and I sat through the entire credits waiting for something to happen. We're so trained by it because of what Marvel has done. You just kind of halfway expect it with a superhero anything at this point.
No, you got to be like me and don't care sometimes, and you're like, all right, time to go. Or I'm done with this now.
Yeah, I always look it up on my phone.
I look it up first. It's like during the beginning credits, it's like, is there a post-credit scene? Oh, no? Okay, we can go.
More awkward silence. What I was going to say is that we should make our own unconnected universe of superheroes called the Y-Men. Wyatt, you know what I'm talking about.
They're
Wyatt.
absolutely terrible. They have terrible powers.
Exactly. Like a guy that can control the humidity in the air, but only for like a foot around him. And it's always miserable.
It's just like, you walk by and wonder, why am I so sticky all of a sudden?
Exactly.
A man who can shoot fire, except he's completely susceptible to heat and fire as a normal human would. There's no limit on the amount of heat he can produce, but he just has normal skin.
Right. Or the guy that can only stop time for only organic material.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, what was it? Anything that was in a inanimate object stops. So if he's wearing clothes, he can't move.
You guys do realize this is just another shorts idea that needs to go in the bucket of ideas that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down for it, as long as I can be the one that, because I specifically remember the guy that stops time, but for everything except for him, was my idea. I want to be the guy.
That's what it was. It was everything except for him. So he has to get naked to use his powers.
Yeah, because like if he's wearing clothes, like his clothes are immovable. He can't move anything. So
it's not anything he touches. It's specifically him.
Yeah. So if he freezes time and he has like long sleeves, he can't do anything. He's like,
This is literally just like Mystery Men 2.
That's the worst.
But yeah.
And there was the what was one that you made up?
I don't remember.
I think it was the guy that can change his density, right? But it's either no density at all. Yeah, all on or all off. So he's like, he turns it on, but he wants to be able to like float. He starts like floating up to the moon because he has no density. Or he turns it on heavy, where he just starts to like sink to the core of the earth.
That's inconvenient.
So it's like this really weird thing where he has to I think it's like a mobile game called Gravity Man, where he has to like turn it on and off the entire time. So he's in there floating like this.
Interesting. Yeah, that's something that we'll have to put on the docket of ideas that we have.
Yeah. The why man, and none of them are going to be connected at all.
Just like our super secret project.
No, those are connected.
They are connected. But yeah, it was good to just get back into the welcome to season 2, guys. This is us being as random as ever. This will not happen all the time. You know how I am.
But it will be.
I just wanted to.
It will be more often.
I just wanted to ease Phil back into it.
Devin, I want to point out today, before we started recording, right? I was waiting on you to get to your desk and come onto Discord so that we can talk to each other, right? And you were taking so long. I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to go lay down. The moment my head hit my pillow, you were like, all right, online. Here's the link.
In my defense, I have been at work since 7 o'clock this morning. I got home late, and then I decided...
That's a 12-hour shift.
I know. I'm making that dough.
But is the cookie worth it?
Not at all. I'm actually quite miserable. But we're going to keep it light. That's how that was at that time. It is a little bit better now. I'm only miserable because I work myself to death. But hopefully that'll get to change. I'm not going to say how yet. I just want to see if I get a yes from this before it actually hit. Before I say anything about it.
You got to manifest it. Get a bunch of crystals and smoke paprika.
Okay. But yeah. But to everyone who's watching or listening, we are glad to have you guys back at the table. It's good to be back with the Chaos Boys, even though they drive me insane.
Oh yeah, we're not done with you yet, sir.
It's only episode 1, season 2.
Oh yeah, it's only
exactly.
episode 1. We still
You got a whole season of
got
us.
a whole season to go, which we'll see what the episode's next.
Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
But I just want to speak for not only myself but the guys and say thank you guys for watching and listening. Do we have a question for them? Or just, we don't have a question for you guys. Just welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the table. We are, your fellow geeks at You Geeking. I am Dev the Doc. That is Phil. And the Afro is Wyatt, our full-time, part-time, all the time co-host. And welcome. We get weird.
I think the question should be, do they have questions for us?
That is a good one. Do you have any questions for either of the three of us? Because I will let them know if it's for them, because I watch over everything. I am the podcast god. And
He's more of like the watcher.
I am, more like the watcher. I'm just going to stand there and just let stuff happen half the time. And then really
things happen and occasionally get punched out.
Well, ain't nobody punching me out. But
hold on, let's call in Mike Tyson real quick.
Well, if you
not gonna lie, the watcher has been punched out so many times.
Hey, if you pay me,
we've already talked about this.
Maybe.
Just flop. Just flop.
Flop.
I like you're playing a soccer game. Just flop.
So yeah. For those who are new, welcome to the show. Also, just to let you guys know, we do have a TikTok. You find us at You Geek'N on TikTok, or at You Geek'N on YouTube, where I'll try to post the shows more often as we're releasing, so they're not only in this podcast space, which would be like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, but also on YouTube. Excuse me, I am burping and talking at the same time, and I'm trying.
Maybe you take a breath, bruh.
I'll be trying.
You can also join me on some streams that I do very infrequently and at random.
So infrequently.
At spontaneous times at the night.
Yeah, so it may just
and schedule. You can also join me at your house, because no, you're not coming over to mine. We're not hanging out together. If you want to invite me,
I've already bought my ticket.
Won't come. So
I've already bought my ticket.
I'm sorry, you got scammed. A ticket to where?
To your house.
I didn't sell any tickets.
It's not, I bought it from somebody.
He bought it at SeatGeek.
Better try and get a refund.
To Wyatt's house.
He bought it at SeatGeek.com.
It says right here, to Wyatt's house.
No, that's not legit.
It says from your house to Wyatt's house.
No.
How much did this ticket cost you?
About $4 million.
You sure are you sure you don't want to take that punch from Mike?
I mean, the guy, he took my money and he pulled it out of his trench coat and then he handed it to me.
This already
Is it handwritten?
I mean, I thought it was like a printed. You know how some companies like print hand like.
So wait, this guy has like a mini printer in his jacket.
You can print stuff at home, Devin, and take it out in the world. You know that, right?
I'm just saying.
I can print something here and then take it over to your house.
I'm just saying, if he just met you on the street, that's just funny. It makes more sense if he has, like,
I don't know.
Like he has like a stenographer thing in one hand, and he's just doing it, and it prints out in the pocket. There you go. There's your ticket.
Or it's one of those situations where like eye contact, like as travel agent. I'm trying to go to my brother-in-law's house. All right, what's his name? What's your name? That'll be $4 million. Here you go.
That sounds about right.
Meet me at this location at this time, near this alleyway.
So yes, kids, if you're new to the show, this is what you're going to get most of the time. It's just a lot of this. We just want you guys to have fun, smile, enjoy life, enjoy geeking, because we enjoy geeking with you. And again, I am Dev the Doc.
I'm Phil.
And I'm Wyatt.
And as always, we ask, you geeking? We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye. Where's my mouse?